Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I will be showing you the neatest and simplest way to achieve this gorgeous crop top. So if this is something you're interested in, keep watching and let's get right into the video. So I'm going to be making use of this African print right here. This is 6 yards, so you can use any available fabric of your choice. So right after opening this fabric, I will then go ahead and fold it into two, just like you see me illustrate. So go ahead and do the same thing. I'll fold my fabric into two, just like this. And after doing this, I'll begin to input my measurements. So for the width, I'm going to be working with 25 inches. So when you fold yours, ensure that it is 25 inches for the width. And then for the length, because it's a crop top, I'm going to be working with 22 inches. And remember to add 2 inches for folding allowance at the hemline. So that's 24 inches for the hem and then 25 inches for the width. So after ensuring that your fabric is, let's call it 25 by 25 inches, the next thing we'll do is to start imputing our measurement. So right now I have marked down 11 inches. From the starting point, I just marked down 11 inches. This is for the sleeve opening. So after marking down our 11 inches, I'm going to go ahead and mark our neck width. So I'm working with 3 inches for the neck width and then 1 inch for the neck depth. So just keep watching. Don't get confused. So after marking this down, I'm going to bring it for you guys to see very soon, for it to be closer. So after marking 3 inches by width and then 1 inch for the depth, the next thing I'll do is to divide the 50 inches for the, we're using a bust of 50 inches divided by 4, I have 12 and half, plus half inch for the sewing allowance, that's 13. So just mark down 13 inches, just like you see me do, up to the 11 inches point that we marked before. So after doing this, at that angle there, I'm going to come out by 1 inch. So if you have a French curve, you can use it, but if you don't have, you're using freehand like me, you just come out by 1 inch and then create a gentle slope, just like you see me illustrate. And then I'll begin to cut out the body of this pattern. So right now, I'll just cut out the body and the sleeve. So after cutting this right out, I'm going to use this front pattern to cut the back. So I have not touched the neckline yet. Just keep watching, you understand. So I'm going to fold this and keep and then arrange my fabric again to cut out the back pattern. So once I'm done arranging the fabric, I'm going to place the front pattern on the back. So ensure that it is it is equal on all sides. So I'm going to readjust mine because it wasn't equal with what I had initially. So after readjusting the fabric, I'm going to place the front pattern on the back, so we can cut out the exact same thing. So for the body measurement is just the same thing. The difference will only be in the neckline. So right now I'm cutting the sleeves and the body like we did before for the front pattern. So after doing this, I will go ahead and then cut out my neckline. So watch closely for how I achieve the neatest way to get that lapel in front. So first thing I did now is to cut out our neck, our round neck line. So this is, remember, it is 3 inches for the width and then 1 inch for the depth. So I cut out the front and the back at the same time. So after cutting this out, you can separate your back from the front, but I'll be cutting my front pattern still with the back because I'm very careful. But if you, just to avoid any mistake, you can separate yours. So I came down by 7 inches, and from that point I then marked 2 inches all the way down. So just do the same thing. So you just create a V shape to meet up with that 2 inches line all the way down, and then we'll cut it out. So I hope this is clear. I came down by 7 inches to create like a V shape, and then I marked down 2 inches all the way down, right? So I am not cutting this on the back, please. I'm not cutting it on the back, only on the front. So right now, I will just raise the front fabric up and then begin to cut it out. So ensure you're not cutting both, please. So I'm going to just follow the line I created, and this is all for the cutting of this crop top. So I'm done with the cutting of the back and with the front. So I'll open this up and show you what I have. So before then, right now I just want to measure what I have for the length of the front. So I'll multiply this by 2. I have 25 there. Multiply it by 2. I'll measure also the back. So what I have for the back is 5 inches multiplied by 2, that's 10. So I'm going to cut out about 100 inches. That's for the length, what I'll use and make the lapel. So just keep watching, you're going to understand. So I'll be using the same fabric for this front lapel. So I'm just going to cut out 6 inches, right? I folded the fabric into 4 so I can have enough length. What I actually want is 100 inches, but I'll just fold my fabric into 4 and then mark out 6 inches. So do the same thing and then cut it out. We're going to use this to make the front lapel. So I went ahead to cut out a second one because the first one will not be enough. So I'll join the 2 and show you guys what I have at the end. So right after joining it, I'm just going to fold it into 2 and then begin to press it down with my hot iron. So if you look at this closely, you can see where I did the joining and you can see how long it is. And then I folded it into 2 and created a crease in the middle of this fabric right here, so it can be easy for me to sew. So just go ahead now and do the same thing and also form that line in the middle. It's going to help you when sewing. So the next thing now is to fold your fabric into 2. Ensure that it is equal, right? So you don't have any excess on one side. So you can do this by joining the 2 hemline of this fabric right here and then get the center point. So once you've gotten the center point, so you can see my center point right here. I'm going to keep my tape like this and then I'm going to mark down 13 inches, right? So I just marked down 13 inches. Remember, this is the wrong side of the fabric and I will stitch it straight all the way down. So from that 13 inches point, make a straight stitch all the way down. So I'm done sewing the straight stitch. So now I'm going to open this up and just press it down to ensure that the front is looking all neat. So you can add hair stay if you want or a gum stay, but without that you still achieve a very neat look. So once I'm done pressing this down, you're going to see the effect it's going to give. So this is what we have and you can see how clean and neat it's looking. So next thing I'll do now is to bring in the fabric and show you how to place it on the main dress, right? So this is the main dress right here. I have not joined anything yet. I'll just go ahead and open this up so we can begin to join the shoulder first. So go ahead and open yours up just like this and then place it wrong side facing each other and place the front on the back, just like you see me illustrate. And then you can stitch the shoulder point for the 2 sides. So after doing that, so now I have stitched my shoulders, you can see it. The next thing we'll do now is to join the front lapel. Yes, we have not closed the sides, we have not closed the sleeves. Just keep doing what I'm doing. You achieve this in the best way. So go ahead and fold the back and then get the center point of the back neckline and then notch it right there. So after doing this, you're going to now bring the lapel. So you bring in that fabric we've folded earlier, this one right here, and then you can also notch the center or either as if you want, but since we stitched the middle of this fabric here, it's easy for you to know the center, and then you place it together, right, wrong sides facing each other. You can use your pin and then pin it down to ensure that you know what you're doing. So I'm going to pin this right down. From the center point, I'll pin it all down to the hemline of the front, right? Just like you see me do. From the center of the back, you pin it all through the front and down. So you do this from one side and do it for the other side before you stitch it down. So after placing my pin, I'll just go right to my sewing machine and then stitch it with 1/2 inch. So I'm done stitching this down. I'll open it up and you can see what we have. It's very neat and clean. You can see the lapel, you can see how it's standing. So I'll just trim off the excess and then we'll proceed to join the sides. So the next thing I did here was to come up by 3 inches from the hem point, from the hemline of this top. I came up by 3 inches so I can place my patch pocket. So this one is very easy. Just cut out 12 inches by 12 inches or 12 inches by 9 inches, depending on how wide or how small you want your pocket to be. You can also use another fabric so it can be more pronounced. And then I place my pocket right on that 3 inches point. So I'll place it for the two side. I'll iron it right down. Remember to fold the top of the fabric before I go to my machine and then stitch it on top. So I'll do this now before I join the sides, because at this particular point it's still easy for me to just open the fabric and then place the pocket than when I have already joined the sides of this top. So right now I'm done stitching down my patch pocket. Remember to fold in your sleeve hemline, just like you see me illustrate here. So I folded mine with 2 inches, and now I'll proceed to just join the sides of this dress. So I'll just open this right up and then place it equally, that is the wrong side, and then starting from the sleeve point, I'll just make a straight stitch with 1/2 inch to the hemline, and this is what we have at the very end. So we have stitched down everywhere and it's looking all clean and nice. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for staying up to this point. If you haven't subscribed, do well to subscribe and like this video so YouTube can push it to people that need this content. Thank you so much, guys, and until that, see you in my next one. Bye.